The way Susan was describing that the way that we face the demons, so to speak, in our dreams, um, I find that facing my emotions in that way too, rather than trying to
Yep.
run away from them or suppress them. It's
Yeah.
it's and I find that if I don't resist the emotion, then it passes through me.
But is it gone forever or do you repeat the emotions?
Well, I'm of two minds about that
I
because
know. I
I
see.
need I need my emotions, right? My emotions are messengers to me.
Sure, they are. But
Yeah,
the emotions are also there to give us a guidance and direction in order to observe them and to see the reality, the validity of them. And are we just constantly acting out on the emotion, which keeps it going to another
right,
time,
right,
another place?
right.
And this way, we get to look at the emotion. If we're looking at it truly objectively and observantly, there's no emotional reaction.
Right, right.
And
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
yeah,
I get that part. And I think what you were saying about the way emotions embed themselves in the soul, um, creating those reactive patterns.
yeah,
Um,
and
yeah,
they're constant.
yeah. But what
And,
I'm feeling is that if I resist the emotion, then that almost causes that embedding. But if I
yes,
don't resist it, then there's no real imprint that takes place.
but
It,
there's a repeat of it.
well, um, yeah, I feel my emotions are repeatable.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
But again, I feel like that's part of life, that's,
Yeah, and it is a part of life,
yeah.
but we also have the availability to take that and to become more real in our emotion once we objectively, what I'm alluding to is that as we objectively and observantly observe that, where did I learn that emotion? If it feels
Yes, yes.
awkward
Yeah,
or if
no,
it
I get it.
bothers,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And where did I learn it? And then uh, for that particular aspect of our life, the emotional aspect of our life, of that particular dynamic, the that emotion is kind of relieved and it dissipates, and we now have the experience of it that turns into the wisdom of it.
Mhm.
Because all
Yeah,
experience turns into wisdom.
yeah. If you have the emotion and then the pattern that the emotion flows through. So the pattern really is what gets
Yeah,
embedded
broken.
on the soul, right?
Yes. And
Would
then,
you say that?
yeah, it's the pattern that creates the emotion. Because if we've had it once, we've had it many times,
Mm,
or else we wouldn't be able to have that.
mm.
It wouldn't be stable otherwise within us. We have that emotion because we've had it many other times in other ways and other forms.
Okay.
So it's taking a look at that emotion and when it feels awkward or we recognize it, oh, I just had an emotional response to something, whatever you come up with for the reason for that. Then as we observe it objectively and ask ourselves, okay, globule of emotion, I see you. You're right there within me, and you're acting out within me. Where did I learn this? And what we'll do is we'll go back, let's say, to a few years later where we learned it, or as a younger person as we learned it, and we'll see where we learned that from when we first had a response to something of a similar nature that we're having a response today. And uh, in other words, that's still embedded within you, that response. That response is still embedded within us. So the idea is, okay, how is this affecting my life in other ways? And you'll
Mhm.
see that it's like a spider web going to various aspects of our life, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And of course, we got to witness that, and it's like a mind blower. It's like a enlightenment that happens. But as another situation in the future starts to come up in the potential future, where we would normally have that emotion, we would find that we wouldn't have that response anymore.
Yeah. Well, what you're just talking about, it's very inspiring. It's leading me to look at emotions differently, and
It shapes our
and
lives. Yeah.
yeah, and to distinguish between the emotion itself and the pattern and patterns of reaction.
Yeah,
You
the
know.
that's all embedded within each other. The emotions, if we look at any of our reactions of how we function in life,
Hmm.
those reactions, then we'll see how the emotion was embedded and turned us into who we are, what we are, why we are today in our speaking, in our thinking, in our feeling, and our activities. The emotions are almost part of the base of us.